Bam, bam, bam. There should be a warning sign on the front of a newly divorced or separated person's head. Warning, because yes, they are single. They're separated, they're divorced, but they're not really single. Okay, well, today we're going to talk about the newly separated or divorced man or woman, but especially the man. He thinks he's single and he wants a relationship, and he's out there, he's single, ready to mingle, wants to find a woman, wants to start dating, but they're still wounded. They're still suffering. A few months ago, they were someone's husband. They would go home, find a nice house, clean, maybe a meal already prepared. They don't have that anymore. They're living alone. They go home, there's no one there. Refrigerator is empty because they're not used to going to the grocery and filling up the fridge. Some of them can't even cook, so that makes them even more depressed. So they're going out to eat every night. Going out to eat is fun, but not when you have to. So the newly divorced is a special breed. My advice when you meet them, run! Okay. You fell in love with a newly divorced or a newly separated person. This is what you have to realize. They're not really prepared to go into the single world. A few months ago, they were someone's husband or wife. They don't know about the new life of dating. Maybe they were still married before, the cellular phone, WhatsApp, FaceTime, exchanging messages. These things are all foreign to them. So you can't expect to receive like the message of good morning and, good night and a message during the day, how you doing? Because they don't really have to know how to do this. They didn't do that with their wives. They called their wife, said how their day is going, said what time they're coming home, and that was it. No little messages, during the day. But now they're dating, and you want that. Us women, we want those little messages. We want that good morning or the good night, and we want to hear from them during the day, even if it's just a message saying, I'm thinking of you, or can't wait to see you later tonight or tomorrow. But it's not going to happen. They don't know how to date. They don't know how to date. So you may find a guy, you're dating, and he'll say, okay, let's get together tomorrow evening. I found this great restaurant. I'll meet you there around 8. Excuse me? You'll meet me there around 8? Because that's what he did with his wife. He didn't have to pick her up. They lived together. So, they got in the car together and drove off to the restaurant. So he doesn't realize, or he has forgotten, that he has to pick up the date, the woman that he is courting. And when you remind him of this, he's like, oh, you want me to pick you up? Oh, okay. Or they'll maybe make excuses. Well, I found the restaurant. It's kind of like on the other side of town, and can't you meet me there? No, I can't meet you there. But what's more important, I don't want to meet you there because I want to be courted and I want you to come and pick me up. But they're not really getting that dating. They're not getting it. You have to teach them. I don't want to teach them. Been there, done that. Okay. Positive side. So newly divorced, they don't know how to date. But then they have the wound. They're hurting. Okay, so maybe they were the ones who were left. But even if they did leave, the husband or wife, even if they were the ones to leave, they're still hurting because they're feeling guilty. They left. Maybe they shouldn't have left. Maybe they should have worked it out. But if they did get dumped, if they were the ones who were left, they're hurting. So the first 2, 3, 4, 5 months, they're going to talk about their ex-wife. They're going to talk about her faults. They're going to be mention some of their faults. They're going to say they didn't see it coming. And she's going to be part of your relationship. So when you date the newly divorced, newly separated, it's going to be you, him, and the other person. Always. Always. That's what you're going to have to deal with. So just realize that. And let's say they have children. Oh, I dated A newly divorced man. First 3 months just talked about the ex-wife. He thought he was happily married. She asked for a divorce. So he was really hurting. But then she would call when we were on a date. So like during the week, I would ask him, have you talked to your ex-wife? And he would say, no, she didn't really contact me. But every time we went on a date, ta-da, she would call with some excuse about the kids. Because they were a little bit jealous, whether they're the ones who left or, the other person left them. There's that jealousy. And if he mentions, because he has to mention where he's going, because, when you have kids, you have to be in contact with your ex-wife or ex-husband. You have to let them know where you are in case there's an emergency. I get that. So every time we went out, she would call with some excuse. The child was crying. The child fell down. Their son is crying. Their son fell down. Their daughter wants to see him. Any old excuse. So you have that to deal with also. The jealous ex-husband or wife interfering in your relationship. And if they're older, even like 12 or 13 or 15, maybe you'll have a date. Happened to me. Not with the newly divorced guy. All ready for my date. We're going out to dinner. Last minute, or almost last minute, he calls and says, we can't go out. Why not? What's up? My daughter, the 15-year-old daughter, she said she had a boyfriend and, she liked him and he's not talking to her anymore. And so, she asked me to take her out for ice cream. Right. So I don't have a date anymore because your daughter is sad and you have to take her out to ice cream. Okay. Maybe some people are saying, yeah, of course, I get it. I understand. When you date a divorced man, with kids, you have to accept that. I don't want to accept that. If you want to accept that, fine, but I'm giving you the warning signs. I'm telling you what to look for when you date the newly separated man with kids. Okay, so let's say the kids are older, 18, 19. They still, have to deal with their children. They're their children. They love them. I get it. I admire that. But, they can't make long distance programs. And even a summer vacation, it's a bit of a problem because they're like, okay, yeah, I want to go with you to Hawaii, but I'm afraid to travel too far. Maybe my children might need me. And my daughter, she's graduating. And my son, he's going to go on vacation. He needs me to, take care of the dog because my ex-wife can't. And so you have to deal with family life when you're, dating the newly separated or divorced man. Okay, you want to know how to win them over? You want to know how to win over a newly separated, divorced man or woman? Invite them over for dinner or lunch. Even if you make chicken soup, they're grateful. They haven't had a home-cooked meal in who knows when. Okay. So dealing with the newly separated or newly divorced can work if you have children also. Okay, if you have children, they have children, newly divorced, separated, you can all go out together. It can work. I don't have any children. So when I meet the newly separated divorced man with kids, it was a problem. In fact, now it's like, no. You're newly separated or newly divorced, no. I'll get back to you within a year. Give them a year. Wait a year before you can actually plan to have a life with them. Yeah, it takes time. Let them, get back into the single world. Little by little. Let them get their strength back. Let them get their courage back. Let them understand how it is to date. What it means to call up a woman, ask her out. What it means to have free time for her. What it means to, yes, your children are important. But if you're dating someone, if you're courting someone and you want them in your life, that person has to be important. Sometimes more important. So let them deal with this. So I would say when you meet the newly separated divorced person, wait. Get back to them. Or if not, if you got time and you want to work through all these problems, go ahead. But it's a lot to deal with. I prefer not to deal with it. But that's not saying, just Throw away all the divorce, newly divorced, separated people you meet. You might meet some great people, but these are the warning signs. This is what you have to deal with. They're not really single. They're kind of single because, like I said, it's new to them. It's a new world, the dating game. Ciao for now. Subscribe. I hope you enjoyed the warning signs. Share this video with your other friends who are, dating the newly separated, newly divorced. Let them know what they should be warned about. And I'll talk to you soon. Oh, check out the wig. New hair wig. I'm trying to work on my hair, but after 10 years of wearing a weave, it's hard. So I've been wearing some wigs, but I hope, in a few weeks, I will show you my real hair.